This man is not the GOAT.
I hate you.
Ignoring the fact that he popped for steroids more than any fighter in UFC history, his record should be much more contested than his 12-6 elbow loss to Matt Hamill. Sure, his early run was a very good one, beating some good, although undersized competition. I like to think of this period as Jon being a weight bully. His size, reach, and eye-poking ability made him stand out more than anything. When Jones fought someone close to his own size, he lost. Alexander Gustafsson beat him, but he was somehow handed a unanimous victory. These types of decisions are common in boxing, but Dana and the UFC pride themselves as being above the corruption seen in boxing.
Hey, get the f out of here because I'm gonna f you out right now, motherfucker.
After beating Glover in DC, Jones was stripped of the title after hitting a pregnant woman with his car. Jones was said to have cocaine still in his system. What a wonderful guy. Then there was the next period that I like to call Jones versus USADA. F it, I'm gonna take them anyway. After some time off, Jones was then set to rematch DC, who had won the title in Jones' absence. DC was deemed unfit to fight, so OSP took the fight on short notice, which is insane as OSP was nowhere near a title fight at that time. The pair stunk out the place, with Jones winning a lackluster performance. Jones looking like he was steroid free at this point. I believe DC would have beat him that night, and so did Jones apparently, because they were set to fight at UFC 200, but Jones tested positive for steroids. That's some GOAT behaviour right there. They eventually fought, and Jones won. But the fight was overturned to a no contest, as Jones popped for steroids again. So, after all of this, Jones learned from this lesson and grew as a person, right? Nope, Jones tested positive again, and had a whole card move from Vegas to California, because Vegas saw Jones as a blatant cheater. Sauced up Jones beat a washed Gustafsson. After popping 3 times back-to-back, Mr. Bones knew he couldn't risk any more reckless steroid abuse. At this point, Jeff Nowitzki was running out of new scientific ideas to save him.
That, there just hasn't been a test collected, and this is someone who used something 5 or 6 months ago, and that's why they're down low. So
Jones then fought Anthony Smith and took him to a decision. Anthony Smith, who could have won by DQ by the way.
Long go! That is illegal. That was definitely illegal.
How funny would that have been if Smith pulled an Aljo and just took his belt? Santos then took Jones to a split decision after destroying his knee in the first round. A razor close fight considering Santos could barely move and was on one leg. Smith and Santos both fought at 185 pounds at the start of their career. Now it was time to see how Jones could fare against a true 205er around his size. He lost, but was given the decision by some corrupt judging. After too many close calls both inside and outside of the cage, Jones relinquished his light heavyweight title and decided to flirt with the idea of fighting at heavyweight. This was until Ngannou won the belt and he spent 3 years ducking him, which he claimed to be putting on size, all to look a bit pudgier. He then fights Garn, who's a one-dimensional fighter with no takedown defense. Then fights 42-year-old Stipe. He looked so slow, it was insane. The fight was like a Bellator main event when we had Fedor fighting Bader for the title. The quality was just so low. The continual glazing of Jones from all the UFC staff is crazy, when he hasn't fought a well-rounded fighter his size or larger, and when he does, he loses and is just given it by the judges.
Jon Jones is absolutely positively the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Probably the greatest fighter of all time in any sport.
Jones keeps ducking Aspinall. He keeps calling for the Pereira fight. What will his legacy be? Avoiding Tom Aspinall? Hit and run? Has the police called on him by his daughter because he was being violent towards his wife? He isn't a GOAT. Jon Jones is a duck.
Who wants to see Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones?